Thank you.
And you haven't told us what you achieved in the US, but you'll tell us about that shortly. Anthony Kibagendi is the Member of Parliament for Kitutu Chache South. Good morning.
Good morning.
You have disappeared and a lot has gone on. How have you been?
I'm great. I took a short break, but I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back.
We've seen a lot of controversy around you. Kunenda aje? What's up?
About what?
No, a lot of things. You want me to go into that?
You can you can ask the hard questions.
Yeah, we've seen you involved in some altercations, some of them physical. We've seen you wanted by the DCI. What's going on?
When you don't agree with this regime, that is bound to happen. It has happened in the past, not just to me. That is what happens when individuals in government use the criminal justice system to try and settle scores.
Even the physical altercation, that's the system?
You may not want us to discuss that further because it is in court.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you and I will respect that.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if the regime can intervene in physical altercations. But I will take that for your answer. Now, we're still expecting the arrival of the Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town, Duncan Mathenge. We have apologies from the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Gladys Boss, who says that she is stuck in Eldoret because the flights were cancelled. We just ran a story there of what happened at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after the Aviation Workers Union went on strike. If she's able to join us virtually, we'll do so. And but the show continues for now. Now, if you look at the two dailies, it's a snobbish Kanja on the Standard. A political storm erupted at Jogo House after opposition leaders accused Inspector General Douglas Kanja of dodging a crucial security meeting, even as outrage mounted over the fatal shooting of a 28-year-old man during a rally in Kitengela. The leaders vowed weekly visits to police headquarters, demanding arrest over the Othaya church attack and accountability for what they termed rising police excesses. Then on the front page of the Daily Nation, in bed with goons, 3 weeks after the attack on former DP by armed men at a church in Othaya, police are yet to make arrests, and you'll find that Khadija Riyami will raise her baby without the father, Vincent Ayomo, who was killed on Sunday when police violently broke up an ODM rally in Kitengela. Death of the mechanic adds to rising cases or casualties of the lethal force deployed against government critics. Police Chief Douglas Kanja yesterday skipped a meeting with opposition leaders who alleged an unholy alliance between hooligans and state agents. Mheshimiwa Mbui, let me begin with you on this one. I don't know if you were there at the meeting that the opposition leaders intended to have with Douglas Kanja, but this meeting was happening at whose invitation?
Sam, let me answer by first pointing out that this issue of police and gangs attacking political leaders has not just started. You know, it's been happening, and many times it has been happening to the former deputy president. Mm-hmm. Remember, there's a time we actually took almost 15 vehicles to IPOA that had been completely vandalized, and many of them had actually gunshots, holes, bullet holes. Yeah. And since we did that, nothing has happened. You notice that when that was happening, because in today's day and age, people have their phones have cameras that can take videos. So there are videos circulating showing the people that were, attacking this convoy of leaders in some place in, I think, Moranga. Yeah. And we went to IPOA, we gave our position, we talked to the leadership of IPOA, nothing was done. Yep. So recently you saw what happened in the church in Othaya, where they attacked women, children, the political leaders. I mean, it was an embarrassment to see women and children, children tear gassed inside a church, and very shocking to see people running through the bushes, helter-skelter, trying to, to save their lives. I saw Rigathi Gachagua, being ushered out of the church through some, I think, maize plantation. Right. It was also embarrassing to see the church minister in full regalia of the church running away to save his life because of these kind of attacks. So this is something that has consistently been happening. And so these political leaders decided to talk to the Inspector General and ask him to make sure that he advises his officers to stop working with goons, you know, and interrupt either religious functions which are enshrined in law. You know, we have the right to assembly. We have the right to our religious rights also have to be respected. So they went to see the Inspector General about 2 weeks ago, and agreed that would have another follow-up meeting, right, so that he can explain to us what he has done.
So now, the follow-up meeting was agreed between...
It was agreed because there was a period that was given, I think it was about 2 weeks, that will come back so that you can tell us what you have done. So the Inspector General knew that the meeting was to take place. So he decided, you know, characteristically, as you see Kenyan leaders constantly doing, to avoid that meeting. Because I think for him, he probably is thinking that when he's seen having a conversation with political opposition leaders, it means then therefore he's going against his boss's wishes. I think that was the reason why he decided to absent himself. So this was a meeting that was planned, this was a meeting that was known, and the purpose of the meeting is basically to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. And so the Inspector General avoids that meeting. So these leaders decide, well, if we cannot have this meeting, then let us at least talk to the people, because at the end of the day, what the leaders are doing is about Kenyan public. This regime, when they came into office, the president saw against that, he held the Bible and sought to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Yeah. And he was given a sword. The sword was not for him to slaughter Kenyans. The sword was for him to protect Kenyans. We are seeing that the Constitution is completely now being ignored, and the police, instead of being used to protect Kenyans, they are actually being used to harass Kenyans. So I think for me, I'm fairly disappointed, and I don't know.
So was there any communication on what will happen when the leadership of the police service will be available to meet your team?
No. They said that they'll give a day, that the Inspector General will tell us when he will be available. But you see, Sam, at the end of the day, you know, the police is supposed to be a service that serves the general public. How does the Inspector General decide he's too busy to do the job for which he's employed? You know, he cannot be busy to meet our leaders. He cannot be busy to meet us. In the last meeting, Sam, members of parliament were denied access to the Inspector General's office. That by itself is an offense that should actually lead members of parliament to be angry enough to kick him out of office. But the problem is the way we are divided in this country. If you even start that conversation, it will be another shop for people to make money. You know, because that is what constantly happens in this country. But the truth be told, Sam, I'm saying that this is an offense that for which Parliament should be seized and make sure that we kick out this gentleman from office, because he clearly breached his oath of office, because he cannot deny elected leaders from seeing him to discuss matters of security, because that's what he's employed to do. But now, if we are to start that conversation, Sam, this is the reality about Kenya. If we are to start that conversation and say we want to kick Kanja out of office because of that, and we want to use a parliamentary route to do it, then what will happen is that members will want to be... There are those members that will sign because, of course, they know it's the right thing to do. But majority of the members who are constantly being directed from other offices, from the house in the hill, will not sign. And therefore, it will become a money-making scheme, because they'll be saying, well, we want to sign, and then people will be, you know, some money will start changing hands, and then therefore they will not sign. That is the same thing when, even if you attempt to impeach the CS, because the CS also is supposed to also, you know, uphold the Constitution. That would be the same thing if you want to impeach even the president. But, you know, Sam, I think what has to happen is Kenyans have to take these matters in their own hands. Because Article 1 gives all the power to the people. The powers of this country sovereign power belongs to them. I think what Kenyans may need to start doing is to hold their leaders to account. Elected leaders. Right. You go to your constituency and they tell you, if Kanja remains in office because he's hurting our women, our children, our leaders, then even you will be kicked out of office. So that leaders can be put under pressure, so that we can be able to work together and correct these ills. Because at the end of the day, Sam, as long as these people are in office and as long as they continue refusing to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, we are not taking Kenya forward.
And joining us now is Duncan Mathenge, a Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town. Good morning, Mheshimiwa.
Good morning, Sam, and thank you for having me this morning.
Karibu sana. And as we continue the conversation, I'll get to you shortly. But Mheshimiwa Kibagendi, so yesterday's meeting appears not to have succeeded as per the plans of the opposition leaders led by Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua. But what do you think would be the solution? Because there are a lot of things happening in this country. People being attacked, including the situation that was in Kitengela during that rally led by ODM SG Edwin Sifuna. But you can't all go to meet the IG. What is the solution?
First, what I would like to say is that the continued intimate association between the police and goons against anyone who speaks or criticizes government, or any association that gathers to picket or to do whatever is provided in the Constitution, should scare every Kenyan, because that is the only way you are able to push any agenda through the court of public opinion, and that is the only way sometimes you can communicate with the masses. If Honorable Kanja, the IG, continues with his snobbish character, you will see this country deteriorate into a gang nation. Because what is going to happen going forward? The other day, you saw what happened in Othaya, where the police are saying up to this point, they don't know who actually did. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua has gone further to help them do the investigations and told them, hey, the people who are involved was Sam Gituku and Anthony Kibagendi. And here are their photos.
You saying that
for example. Yeah, they have, Honorable Gachagua has done that. Yeah. But the police don't seem to be making any effort to actually take responsibility. The other day, again, we had a very, very peaceful meeting in Kitengela, and the police came violently disrupting that meeting. And again, they are planning the same in Kakamega. Now, what we are seeing is a fearful legion of members that are associated with this regime that continually use the police to try and disrupt and attack people who speak against the ills of this government. And what is going to happen is people are now going to organize themselves so that we protect ourselves. We have to go out there and talk to the masses. If you talk to Honorable Mbui...
What do you mean organize yourselves?
We are going to organize ourselves.
What does that mean?
Protection. If the government cannot protect us, we are going to protect ourselves.
Using who? What?
Using the masses. Public. Using the masses.
How do you do that?
And I can tell you today, and who is bringing the violence? It is government through the police. And I want to tell you today, I think on Sunday was the last time police were used to disrupt a peaceful meeting in Kitengela.
On your take, one of your neighboring constituencies in Nyeri town, and all this long, there's just been talk, promises that IPOA and the Internal Affairs Unit is investigating